Hello friends, welcome back to my channel. So today in this video we'll discuss about this section 7, that is test results from the general notices and requirements. So in my last video I have already discussed about this section 6, that is testing practices and its procedures, right? Friends, my YouTube channel name is Pharma Quality. So please view, like, comment and subscribe my channel. So today in this video we are going to discuss about this section 7, that is test results, and the subsections are 7.10, that is interpretation of the requirements, and 7.20 is the rounding rules, right? So first subsection is 7.10, that is interpretation of the requirements. So basically the analytical results generated in the laboratory, whether directly observed or calculated from experimental measurements, must be compared against the predefined compendial acceptance criteria to determine the conformity, right? For example, if you are if you have performed the assay test, then there will be some acceptance criteria, and that acceptance criteria need to be meet your obtained results, right? So the value used for this comparison is the reportable value, which represents the final results of the fully completed and documented measurement procedure, and may be derived from multiple individual determinations. Maybe that you have injected the multiple injections or multiple individual results, and overall the individual results and the average of the result that should meet the acceptance criteria. So when acceptance criteria are expressed as numerical limit, the specified upper and lower values themselves are acceptable, but any value outside these limits is not permitted. So if it is outside of the lower limit or upper limit, it will be considered as the out of specification, right? So these criteria are considered significant up to the last digit shown, meaning the reported results must be scientifically meaningful and consistent with the defined level of precision, right? So we'll understand in the coming slides that how the rounding of the results should be taken care, right? So the next is 7.10.10, that is equivalence statement in titometric procedure. So in titometric procedure, the analysis concludes with an equivalence statement defining the weight of the analyte chemically equivalent to the 1 milliliter of standardized titrant, right? So whatever the chemical analyte is present, that should be equivalent to the 1 ml of the titrant, right? So the number of significant figure in the titrant concentration directly corresponds to the number of significant figure in the analyte weight, and ensuring consistency between the measurement precision and reported result. And also wherever applicable, correction should be done with the blank determination, and that must be applied to account for systematic contribution and not associated with the analyte, so thereby maintaining the accuracy, traceability and scientific validity of the titometric assay, right? So wherever applicable, we need to interpret the result with the subtracting the result of the blank, right, in case of titometric procedures. So now the next subsection is 7.20, that is rounding rules, right? So observed or calculated values must be rounded only to match the number of decimal places defined by the limit expressions, and rounding must not be applied until the final reportable value has been calculated, right? So the intermediate values may be rounded for reporting, but unrounded values must be used for any further calculation to prevent cumulative error, right? So the acceptance criteria are fixed limit, right, and are never be rounded. So when rounding is required, only the first digit to the right of the last specified decimal place is considered. If it is less than 5, then it is discarded with no change to the preceding digit, and if it is 5 or greater, it is discarded and the preceding digit in increased by 1. So let's have a look on few examples, right? So now here we'll understand with a few examples that how the rounding of the result should be done, right? So there is a illustration of rounding numerical values for comparison with requirements. So these are the compendial requirements. So let's understand with the first example. So for example, your SL limit is more than 98.0% or equal to 98.0%, and your unrounded value, that means you have got the results that is 97.96%, then you have to be rounded off this value with the single digit after the decimal, right? So your rounded result of this 97.96% would be 98.0. That means it's meeting the criteria, so your result will be considered as pass, right? Next example, if you'll get the your result like 97.92%, so your rounded result in single decimal will be 97.9%. So this 97.9% is not meeting your criteria because your limit is more than 98.0 or is equal to 98.0, but it is below the 98.0. So this result is fail, right? Next, if you'll get the unrounded value of your result, that is 97.95%, then the rounded value in single digit will be 98.0%. That means it is meeting your criteria, so your result for 97.95% will be pass, right? There is another example with the higher limit. For example, your SL limit is less than 101.5% or is equal to 101.5%. So this is your acceptance criteria. And against this acceptance criteria, you have got your result 101.55%. So you need to be rounded off this result in single digit after the decimal, since your compendial requirement, there's a specification limit is in single digit after decimal. So your rounded value of 101.55% will be 101.6%. So when you round it off this result, so your result for this 101.6% is failing because it's exceeding this limits 101.5%, right? Another example is if you'll get your result like 101.46%, then the rounded result will be 101.5%. That means it is exactly meeting your SL limit, right? So in this case, your result will be considered as pass. The next is 101.45%. So the rounded value will be 101.5%. So again, this result is meeting your acceptance criteria, right? Let's have a look on another example for limit test. For example, your limit test acceptance criteria is less than 0.02% or is equal to 0.02%. So here there are two digit after the decimal. So your result of the rounded value should be in two digit, right? So for example, you will get your limit test results that is 0.025%. So your rounded result value should be 0.03% in two digit after the decimal, right? So your result is 0.03%. That means it is exceeding this 0.02%. So this is the higher. So your result here will be considered as fail. Then for example, you will get the 0.015% result, then the rounded value will be 0.02%, but 0.02% is meeting your acceptance criteria, right? So either it should be, your result should be the equal to 0.02% or less than 0.02%. So in this case your result is pass. And there is another example. For example, you will get your result 0.027%, and when you will round it off this result, you will get the rounded result as 0.03%. That means it is again exceeding this criteria. That means in this case your result is fail, right? Let's have a look on another example. For example, your limit test acceptance criteria is less than 3 ppm or is equal to 3 ppm. So when you'll get your result as 3.5 ppm, then the rounded result will be 4 ppm. That means the result is failing because your acceptance criteria is less than 3 ppm or is equal to 3 ppm, but here the rounded value is exceeding this acceptance criteria, then it will be considered as fail. Another example, if you'll get your result like 3.4 ppm, then rounded value will be 3 ppm. That means your result is passing as per your acceptance criteria. Then again there is another example, if you get your result like 2.5 ppm, then the rounded value will be 3 ppm, right? So again, the 3 ppm is meeting your acceptance criteria. So in these cases, your result will be considered as pass, right? So I hope you can understand how to the rounding of the results. So friends, this is all about the section 7, that is test results. Thank you.